Private to live. Working. Yeah. Evening, everyone. Name's Logan. We're working in Afterpay. I'm not sure if we were still hiring, but I never say no to referring bonus money. So if you're interested, you know where to find me. Yeah, tonight I would like to talk about the frugal ops, what I call. It's just frugality is in my Asia core. So yeah, it's a long time user of Volkswagen and all that. It's something that I've been thinking about for a long time. So I would like to share it. There's nothing about the Docker, by the way, just so that the real list looks cute. So that's all. Yeah. So it started many years ago that I've seen someone's like a personal website. It's like an online resume, like portfolio things, and I thought, oh, that's cool. I should have that one. And then I was thinking about what's the requirement. Then it's just something simple and static. It doesn't update much. It's like it's predates the LinkedIn, so it seemed pretty effective at that time. And look at the ingredients. That's what it takes to make the website. That's quite a few things actually needed. There's domain name, DNS, and HTTPS. SSL because everything's encrypted these days, and something content story, and something to automate content update. So as a career of Sky, that I just pretty much after like 5 minutes thinking that come to the conclusion that I need a server, right? Before I get to the next topic that I just briefly talk about the domain name bits. So the reason I said almost free is because, well, there is quite easy way to actually get the free domain. And so you need to pay for that. Or if you are truly frugal, there's the URL with the coupon code here. I tested right before coming here, and it absolutely give you the free no string attached domain name for a year. So if you just want to try this idea, then that is it. And you can take it for whatever. Yeah. So get to the next topic. So I looked into the like smaller virtual server providers that's called VPS, virtual private servers, and I've been using I use like the like a small providers. It's a small as in small like a small like a Linode or DigitalOcean, like a some big name provider in the market. So this low end talk is actually the forum that people talks about that kind of offerings. But after using it a few years, well, I realized like it has like tons of unannounced nowadays, and they pretend that didn't happen. And was the service stability wasn't quite satisfactory. So and then after that, the Amazon right side came in. So it's basically a knockoff version of EC2, and the stability is about the same as EC2 itself. So I was quite happy about it. So here's the bit of architecture diagram what I thought initially was running initially. So there's a good old WordPress. Yeah, everyone loves WordPress. Nginx. Then MariaDB, you can use MySQL if you like. PHP, oh, let's encrypt to provide SSL. And I like say as like a snapshot backup feature, so you can automate the snapshot backup and restore permissions. Since that WordPress is so well known about the security loopholes, like I got hacked a couple of times in the past. And after that, been running it for a few years. Then I realized this seems quite expensive. So like I said, the simple backup costs actually start from the Australian $74 per annum. And while that there's an obvious pro that is have to include the resource loss, unlike H2, it has included the bandwidth, it has included the disk space and all that, which you pay separately for the H2. But then the downside is given that the website I don't really maintain it so often. So it the constant requirement of patching the virtual machine itself and the WordPress and associated plugin was quite a bit of a hassle. So I think it was one day the GitHub announced that they have now something called the GitHub Action, and it's almost free. Then I come up with I should convert this to serverless. So that's the new serverless model, and there's some prerogatives comes following that. But just give it a brief explanation. That so it's get served from the S3 bucket, and then it's rendered by the GitHub Action using the something called static page rendering to Hugo, but you can use whatever really. And it's read from the GitHub repo, and that's there's a cloud front. But using the cloud front is obviously I can attach the Amazon certificate management, so it gets the almost free SSL sort. And there's some rundown that's in play to do some magic about what CloudFront can't really do it. So we'll explain further later. So there's a one trick Route 53, no, but the right side DNS, yes. The Route 53 has about USD 50 cents per month joint charge. It's a lot. It's more than $5 per year. And yeah, yeah. And the light sale has the like a knockup version of Route 53, and it's free up to 3 joints per account. And you don't even need to have a virtual machine there. You can just go there, click the button, and you can just create it. They don't charge for you. And it's hefty query allowances there, as you can see from here, and it pretty much end up like not really paying for any right to your website. That's all. The problem is like that all this knockup service has its own cons. So pre-right DNS doesn't support alias for root domain. So you have to fix the A record in there. It doesn't support alias. And also, what I found out is like if you just ping that your CloudFront endpoint and the corrupted IP address and punch it as a record, and it works, and it's very sticky. I've been using it for like over a year. It didn't change. Yeah. Yeah. And see now, let's look at the grip of cost breakdown here. CDN, it's almost free for the Rider website. SSL, free for the CloudFront. Static file storage, S3 is nearly free, and GitHub repo is free. And GitHub Action is practically free because you get the unlimited for the public repo, and private repo, like 1,000 minutes or something, more than enough for this kind of practice. And just to sum up, the process like, yeah, this is all free for the reasonable usage. It's like not actually free. It's like a 20, 30 cents. I'll share my billings later on, but that's, yeah, almost free, yeah. And doesn't need a frequent security patch and maintenance because it's handled by third party. Downside is like I mentioned that the reason why I use Lambda was like CloudFront is like one of my security guys says they seems like the AWS CloudFront team doesn't work at all. So there's a blog article they wrote about that they can't handle the index.html index file in the subdirectory written like 7-8 years ago, and they still haven't patched it. Yeah, just you need to still Lambda to actually hijack your incoming communication and then redirect that from to the relevant index.html or whatever file you have for your subdirectory. It won't work otherwise. Yeah, so then there's a workaround that I just mentioned. All right, bit of a demo. See, so that's my building screen. Forget about this right side chart. It's the dedicated open VPN server for my wife to watch Korean TV shows. That which what she says that that's the reason why she married to me. And yeah, see, CloudFront. Yeah, it was last month, April, and 16 cents, and the actual S3 for the 3 cents. So that was about 20 cents USD-ish. So it's not too bad, right? So it's stored in my personal blog here. So it's hooked up with the action GitHub Action. So I can now create a new blog entry here, just a YAML file, and just commit to the master directory because I like to leave it dangerously. Yeah, and that's trigger a certain building process. I can see that before. Yeah, it's started on, and in the meantime, I'll just go there quickly, purge my cache because it was not counted that. Yeah. 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 So it's yeah. Yeah, there's a GitHub action called nice GitHub action called S3 sync. So I didn't actually even have to write that up bits. So anyway, that's will take some time. So rev it on, and how it rendered in the end would be like this. Like so, this was me venting about the recent Sony headphone purchase. Don't buy Sony headphone. That's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's it. And yeah, so those are all actually provided by some the Frugal the platform. So there's a lot of themes, free themes available, and you could basically just replace those small configurations and photos and layouts by some YAML configuration file. So I know that will just be that good at like a bar chain design usually of SkyStar, but this one was pretty handy in that context. Yeah. Okay. So any questions? Right. Yeah. Oh, well, it's not supported. Thank you.